In May, my mother became a pretty white dove and flew away to a new home. In May, my mother became a pretty white dove and flew away to a new home. My grandmother Val and my Aunt Mavis planted a memory garden for her. We call it Doretha's Memory Garden. We water it every day and watch it grow. In the distance, I hear a blackbird calling. My grandmother Val says it's my mother moaning. Carrie, your mother is talking to you. She is telling you how much she misses you. I say to my grandmother Val that I miss my mother more than she could ever know. The hands that used to braid my hair are gone. I miss those hands and the woman that they belonged to. When she would wash my hair and rub my scalp, it used to tickle some, but it was comforting. Then, when she would braid my hair with the fancy patterns and tell me to keep my head quiet and stop moving so much, the scent of the Blue Magic hair grease would fill the air, and it was so peaceful. No talking, no singing, just me and her. She flew away, and I can't see her anymore. I wish for her in vain, but my grandmother Val keeps telling me that someday I will see my mother again. My mother used to bake cakes by hand. She would use an old wood spoon to mix up the batter in a big red plastic bowl. I would stand next to her in the kitchen. Sometimes she would pass me the bowl and let me mix, and I would mix too rough and spill some of the batter. Carrie, you have to be gentle, she would tell me. Now, this kitchen seems so dull and quiet. The old wood spoon and red plastic bowl sitting over in the corner are all sad and lonely like me. My mother Doretha was so silent and quiet. When she would walk me to school, my hand was clasped firmly into hers. And when she would leave me at the school gate, she would always say to me, "Behave good, Carrie, and I will see you later." She had a sort of way of looking at the world that made even the smallest thing seem magical. Once, we were out in the backyard hanging clothes out to dry, and this tiny ladybug landed on her shoulder, and she told me how it flew all the way from Canada. She said the next stop for the ladybug was going to be Sicily, Italy. She named the ladybug Sophia. She took the ladybug from her shoulder and placed it in the palm of her hand. Ladybug Sophia stood in my mother's palm for a while, and then she got up and flew off, never to be seen again. For Doretha's Memory Garden, Grandmother Val and Aunt Mavis chose red frangipanis, her favorite, their petals a vibrant crimson against the deep green leaves. And in the evening, they smell so sweet, just like Doretha. We planted passion flowers, its calming scent, a quiet comfort when our grief feels too heavy. We then planted forget-me-nots too, small blue stars, each one a whisper of her name. Each morning, the cool spray of the hose feels like a gentle caress on my hands, as if I'm tending to her memory, nurturing it just as she nurtured me. We watch the new shoots emerge, tiny green promises of growth amidst our sorrow. The garden grows, pushing upwards, reaching for the sun, a stark contrast to the way my heart sometimes feels, pulled downwards by an invisible weight. Yet, seeing its resilience gives me a strange, quiet strength. In the distance, I hear a blackbird calling. My grandmother Val says it's my mother moaning. The blackbird's call isn't just a sound. It's a deep, resonating cry that seems to carry the weight of the sky. It pierces the morning silence, a lonely echo in the vastness. Carrie, your mother talking to you, she tells you how much she misses you. Grandmother Val's voice is like a soft blanket, wrapping around the sharp edges of my pain. She believes in things I can't quite grasp yet, in spirits and signs, and in her unwavering faith I find a tiny flicker of my own. I say to my grandmother Val that I miss my mother more than she could ever know. When I hear that bird call, a shiver runs down my spine each time. It's a bittersweet moment, knowing my mother Doretha is still out there. Yet a fresh wave of longing sashes over me, reminding me of the chasm between me and my mother Doretha. The hands that used to braid my hair are gone. I miss those hands and the woman that they belonged to. She flew away, and I can't see her anymore. Even the simplest things feel different now. The house holds her scent less and less, and the quiet spaces where her voice used to fill the air now hum with an emptiness that aches. She flew away, a graceful escape from earthly bounds, and I can't see her no more. It's like watching a star disappear behind a cloud. You know it's still there, but its light is hidden from your view, leaving a darkness in its place. I say to my grandmother Val that I miss my mother more than she could ever know. The more for me isn't just about tears. It's a constant, dull ache behind my ribs. A quiet hum of longing that underlies every joy and every sorrow. It's the unspoken conversation, the advice I'll never hear, the shared future that vanishes in an instant. But my grandmother Val keeps telling me that someday I will see my mother again. And my grandmother Val's conviction that someday I will see my mother again is a lighthouse in my storm. Sometimes the waves of grief are so high I can barely see its light, but I cling to the promise of it, even if I don't fully understand how or when. I picture seeing my mother Doretha again sometimes. A soft light, her arms open, the feeling of those hands again. I don't know if it's a dream or a true glimpse, but it's a hope that keeps the deepest darkness at bay.